We regret to inform you, we appreciate your time. Thank you for your interest. We've decided to go with another candidate. If you've ever heard those words after crushing your final round of interviews, it stings. And I mean, it really stings. You prepped, you planned, you may have even presented to a huge panel of interviewers, and then bang, rejected. It's frustrating, it's disheartening, and it's tempting to just hit delete and move on. But what if I told you that rejection email might be an opportunity in disguise? Because one of my clients recently turned a rejection into a job offer in under 3 weeks. And today I want to show you how you can do the same. So let's start with a little behind the scenes insight. Because before I became a career coach, I was both a hiring manager and an agency recruiter. Yes, I know, don't hate me. I've sent hundreds, maybe thousands of rejection emails over the years, but you know what? Things didn't always go to plan. Most of the time, we'd hit send, candidates would vanish, end of story. But then sometimes a few weeks would go by and the person hired would drop out during onboarding, accept another offer, or suddenly a manager from another team would say, hey, do you know anyone else who could handle this? And guess who we were thinking of? Not the people who ghosted us, not the ones who said nothing. We'd remember the ones who replied with grace. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Rejection isn't rejection forever. Hiring plans change constantly. So let me give you 4 real scenarios I saw happen firsthand all the time. So the top candidate would negotiate too hard and end up walking away. A new hire would quit within the first month. Budgets would open up and suddenly companies would be looking to hire 2 people instead of 1. Or lastly, another department would see a candidate's profile and decide they wanted that person for their team. Now these aren't rare, they happen all the time. And that brings me to the story of my client, because she handled rejection like an absolute pro. So she got the dreaded thanks but no thanks email, and instead of ignoring it, she replied, not to argue, not to ask why or demand feedback. She simply thanked them, said she appreciated their time, that she enjoyed learning more about the company, and here's the key. She reaffirmed her interest. She let them know that if any future roles came up, she'd love to be considered. And then less than 3 weeks later, a spot opened up on a completely different team. The hiring manager remembered her response, forwarded her name, and she was invited to chat with a new director. They had one 30-minute conversation, that's all it took, and then she got the offer. She said yes, and she's now working in a role she loves. Now that's why your response to a rejection matters. Now sometimes it's more powerful than the interview itself. Now let's walk through the 4-part framework she used that you can use too. So firstly, show genuine appreciation. This is where most people get it wrong. They either disappear or respond defensively. Instead, keep it simple. Thank you for taking the time to let me know. I really appreciate the opportunity to interview and learn more about your team. It takes 10 seconds to write, but the thankful tone leaves a lasting impression. And then step 2, acknowledge the disappointment professionally. You can still be honest, just keep it balanced. So say something like, while I'm disappointed because I was excited about contributing to the goal, I completely understand you have to go with whoever you feel is the best fit for your current needs. Look, this shows that you're self-aware, but also that you understand the hiring game. There's no need for bitterness or ego for that matter. Just professionalism. Then moving on from that, mention something that stood out for you. This is where you get personal, and this is what my client did. So as an example, I especially enjoyed our conversation about and mention a specific project or topic. Your team's approach was really inspiring and gave me a lot to think about. Now this reminds them why they liked you in the first place. It brings you back to life in their mind. And then keep the door open. Highlight that you're not closing things off for good and subtly suggest that they shouldn't either. So my client said, I'd love to stay in touch and be considered for any future roles that may be a better fit. I'll be following the company's progress and would be happy to reconnect down the line. Now notice that last line. It's professional, it's future focused, and it keeps the relationship going. So yes, the next time you get a rejection email, don't delete it. Don't ghost the hiring manager. Take a couple of minutes, send a thoughtful reply. Because while other candidates disappear, you'll stand out as someone who handles setbacks with maturity and grace. And in the world of work, that matters more than you know. Sometimes rejection isn't the end, it's just redirection. And look, if this helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more job search strategies that actually work. And if you've ever turned a no into a yes, drop your story in the comments. You never know who it might inspire. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.